This is part 12 of LINQ tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss partitioning operators. Take, skip, TakeWhile, and SkipWhile. All of these standard query operators belong to partitioning operators category. Take method returns a specified number of elements from the start of the collection. The number of items to return is specified using the count parameter. Let's look at an example. Let's flip to Visual Studio. Here I have a new console application. At the moment, within the main method, we have this string array called countries, which contains 7 different country names. Now what we want to do is retrieve the first 3 country names. So we're going to make use of this take extension method, and if you notice, this method expects one parameter of type integer, and using this parameter we specify the number of items that we want to retrieve. Since we want to retrieve 3 items, I'm going to pass 3 as the argument value. And if you notice what this method returns, it returns I enumerable of string. So let's use a variable of that type to store the result, and let's name the variable as result. And then all that is left now is to use a for each loop through each string in the result collection, and then print out the value of that string onto the console screen. So now when we run this, as you might expect, it is going to print the first 3 country names. Now let's see how to rewrite the same query using SkipWhile-like syntax. So from country in countries collection, what we want to do, we want to select such country. Now when we run this query, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to list each and every country within that collection, but that's not what we want. We want the first 3 countries. So we are going to make use of the take operator and then pass 3 as the argument value. So now when we run this, we should get only the first 3 countries. So that's our example 2. Now let's look at skip method. Skip method actually does the opposite of take method. Skip method skips a specified number of elements in a collection and then returns the remaining elements. The number of items that we want to skip is specified using the count parameter. So let's look at an example. Now what we want to do is actually skip the first 3 countries and then retrieve the rest of them. So to achieve that, we simply say countries.skip 3. So it's going to skip the first 3 countries and then retrieve the rest of them. Now, notice that for the same argument value, the skip method returns all of the items that the take method would not return. So now when we say take 3, what's going to happen? It's going to retrieve first 3 and it's not going to return these countries. Now when we say skip 3, it's going to skip these 3 and then return the rest of them. So for the same argument value, the skip method returns all of the items that the take method would not return. TakeWhile method returns elements from a collection as long as the given condition specified by the predicate is true. Let's look at an example. Now what we want to do is return countries starting from the beginning of the array until a country name is hit that does not have the length greater than 2 characters. And to specify that condition, we are using this lambda expression right here, s such that s.length is greater than 2. Now this lambda expression will be executed against every item starting from the first item in the collection. Now is the length of the first string greater than 2? Yes, so that item will be returned. Is the length greater than 2 for this string? Yes, so that string will be returned. So it is true for this string as well, so that will be returned. But for this string, this lambda expression is going to return false. So only the first 3 country names will be returned here, because with the 4th element, the condition becomes false, so it's going to stop there. So let's actually look at that in action. So countries dot take while s such that s.length greater than 2. So now it should return the first 3 countries there. Look at that. Now what do you think SkipWhile is going to do? So when we say SkipWhile s such that s.length greater than 2, so when we do this, it's going to skip the items until that condition is true and then return the rest of them. So for this item, this expression evaluates to true. So it's going to skip that, it's going to skip that, it's going to skip that, and then At this point, the condition will become false, so from that point onwards it's going to return the rest of the items. So now when we run this, we should get from US till Italy. So that's our next example. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.